Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We are here with one more race replay. This will be the round 10 of 11 on season 2 of Enduro Experience Racing League. First of all, let me just check as usual. Let me check how's the stream, if it is working correctly, if the mic and everything working as intended. Let me just check that first. Yep, everything is working fine. So yeah, this is the race number 10 out of 11, and we are almost at the end of our season, season 2 Manufacturers Championship of Enduro Experience League. So I'm not gonna talk too much because I need to get into the championship details as well. So anyway, yeah, if you need to know anything about our racing league, Enduro Experience Racing League, you can always check the description, and once the live stream is done, I will post I will update the description to show all the details, the Discord server, Facebook, everything down below. And when you go to the Discord server, you'll find everything. As long as once you join it and you read and agree to the rules, you'll see the whole server and you'll be able to see everything. And if you're not sure whether you wanted to give it a go, I just wanted to look around, and then you can, well, without agreeing or without reading and agreeing the rule sets, you can just join the Discord server and you can talk to an admin, and um, and you can ask like what are the times and everything if you want to know all that. So yeah, so this is a 2 hour race, so let me just get through that really quick. So it was a really good lobby of 14 people and everybody raced until the last minute, which is really amazing. So let me just play the replay, set it up. Okay, hold on. All right, so let me just turn on all the displays, not all the yeah, all the information. Let me no, I'll just go for this. All right, so we have 14 people, as you can see in the lobby, and yeah, 14 people, all of them raced until the last minute, and which is really amazing. And yeah, let's talk about the championship because we are like one race away from the finale. So this is the 10th round, and before going into the 10th round, let me just talk a little bit about the championship. We don't have any pro drivers for this lobby, so there won't be any score changes in the pro lobby. And as you can see, maybe if you have watched previous streams, maybe if you're wondering about the driver that is currently on the screen, Presley, because yes, he used to be in the pro division, but as of right now, he bought a new wheel and he's still getting adjusted to that. So his times are very similar to, I'd say, my times, but he's really fast on on turn exits and everything. But yeah, he's an A plus driver, and so as of right now, we have decided to keep him in pro am until he get fully comfortable with his wheel and build that muscle memory and everything. So yeah, as of right now, he's in the pro am division. So he secured the pole position, which is not a surprise, given that he's a fast driver. And then on P2, he's an AM driver. He's an amateur driver, but if I recall his name is Jimmy, so I'll call him Jimmy, which is much easier than calling Woodtick. So Jimmy is an AM driver, did a amazing lap, amazing lap, and then secured P2. And yeah, I mean that was a crazy lap, and managed to secure P2. And yeah, P3 is myself, and yeah, myself, and I'm currently in the Pro Am division. And then we have Musi. Well, Musi's unusual car. I mean, he's supposed to be on BMW, but yeah, he was not going to race the full race. Actually, initially his plan was to stay up until 1 hour mark, and then he has something to do. So he said he's gonna stay here for about 1 hour. So um, yeah, so that's why he's back in his favorite car, the Lexus, because he's just making an appearance. I mean, he's going to finish the race. I mean, you'll see that, but he's not gonna be in the contention of any position or anything like that. And then P5 is my teammate Timo in his Porsche Rexy and Rexy on fire. And then we have the let me just change the camera angle. At least we can see the car that way. Yeah, we go. So on P6, the last race winner, Keepsy, a driver from Netherlands, and he's pretty fast. I mean, he's a fast driver. If you've seen the replay of Mount Panorama round number 9, and you can see that he's a really fast driver, and yeah, he don't hold back, and he'll go for it. So yeah, one of the fastest drivers, and I believe so that he joined halfway through the practice slash quali lobby, which is running for 1 hour. So yeah, and then we have Scott. Um, he's the P2 in the championship standings, and he managed to get P7. He's not one of his favorite tracks, anyway. And then Nurix in P8, and Nurix is one of the fastest drivers, and he already built a reputation starting at the back and then climbing all the way up. Um, and then yeah, he's really consistent as well throughout the race. um, and then we have Sway, and now this is the no, Sway is in Pro Am, sorry. Yeah, so Sway is in Pro Am, and it's beautiful, beautiful AMG. That sound is perfect. I mean, it sounds so perfect, that AMG. Yeah, so he's in P9, and then P10 from downwards, I believe so, starting the aim category. So Carlos, in his usual Supra, Chrome Supra, and we have Aries. He's in a Porsche. This is a new joiner, so we have seen him for the first time, I believe. So he's a AM driver, and so he's starting on P11, and then we have Oscar starting on P12 on his usual Ferrari, and we have Andre. Uh, he changed the cars to McLaren because the Lamborghini was not serving him well, and then he was having a lot of trouble with the Lamborghini, and he was not comfortable with the cars. So if you are like going through a whole season with a really bad car, and if you can see it clear that he's struggling, I mean, yeah. So we told him, all right. I mean, his division members all were all supportive towards that. So yeah, he was able to switch to his McLaren, and then we have XCon. He's this XCon is not a sorry, XCon is not a new driver, but he joined us I think for a couple of races, but his appearance is it's not really consistent. But then yeah, he did not race for a long time, and then now he like to get back to it. So yeah, he's here representing Team Porsche. Yeah. So that's the end of the grid. So let's talk about the championship. A little bit, I mean, not much. So we don't have any changes to pro division. So I believe so. Uh, if the pro, if the pro members join the last race, maybe there will be a change for a change in the podium, as in the P3 position, because as you can see, no, you cannot see, but obviously. Yeah, so Ricky is in the points lead with 46 points, and this is mostly the addiction crew who are representing the pro division, and they are not participating on all the races. I believe so. We have I believe we have only like five races they have attended so far. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, so Ricky with 46 points and Voodoo with 34 points. And then we have Wellsbury with 20 points. We haven't seen Wellsbury since our second race in Interlagos, so he will probably, I don't think that he'll be coming back. But anyway, we have Addiction M157 with 20 points. So if these guys join back, especially for Addiction M157, yeah, he can get into a podium position on the pro division. Apart from that, the rest lineup will be the same, and there will be no changes. But anyway, we're moving on to the pro am. Myself standing currently with 79 points. That is 10 points ahead of Scott, and Scott is with 69 points, and Timo is on P3 with 67 points. So this could go either way, but for the most part, it is looking good for me. Given that I've qualified ahead of both the guys, so yeah. But race is 2 hour long. We'll see down the lane. I mean, we'll see how it pans out. Anyway, um, yeah. So it's gonna be a really tight fight between Scott and Timo, and because they are only apart, only 3 points apart, and from P4 and below we have Mercy Granty. They are equal. They are on equal points, but yeah, there won't be any changes. I mean, there won't be any P3 or there won't be any changes to the podium. Podium positions will be already sealed, and there will be changes between P2 and P3. I mean, there could be changes uh, because we still have two races. I mean, including this one. And then when it comes to the M division, it is Carlos leading the championship with 34 points, and Dr. Katz, aka Andre, on P2 with 32 points, and then we have Oscar with 31 points. Excuse me, on P3, and then we have Dean on P4 with 20 points, but then we have not seen Dean for a long time. I think after Interlagos, I believe so. That was the last appearance, so I don't think there will be any changes there. But Sway, let me check. I don't think Sway. I'm not sure whether Sway is in Pro or Pro Am, so I have to check that. I need to check that because the race 9 results, we have Sway in the M division, so I need to check that. And then down below we have only XCon as of right now, but he's in P7. So there won't be major changes. For that, I believe it is only the podium. The podium is already sealed for the M division, and then yeah, there can be changes in the podium positions. Between yeah, between the podium there could be changes, but because the points are really tight um, between all of them. So that is that, and then we are heading um, yeah, we are heading into this race with let me check really quickly what's the standings for. Yeah, okay, so we are heading into this race with 210 points. So that is 41 points lead, 41 points lead from BMW. BMW currently sitting at 169. So I think that our manufacturers championship is already sealed. The championship winner is already pretty much sealed because we don't see many BMWs in here. We see only one BMW, so won't change much. So yeah, let's play the race, and let me change the camera angles really quickly, and then so we have opted to a rolling start because that is how it is. And here we go. It's green, 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 and we are away. Presley, as usual, takes a really good start, and then followed by Woodtick and myself. Or there was a little bit of a rubbing, but nothing major. But Presley heading into the lead as usual, and there's a little bit of close racing between Musi and Timo, and myself as well. So we are already past the international horseshoe, and let me just open the corners of the map. We are heading right now into the turn 6, which is a huge turn. I mean, oh, there Muti goes, sorry, Ricky or Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy goes a little bit wide there and opening the gate for me, myself, and so I've taken B2 currently because he went wide on that exit, and then Muti looks to the inside a little bit, but then he slows down a bit. He does not want to bump into me, so because the bus stop is a really tricky part of the track. And then yeah, talking about the turns, turn 6 is a huge turn. I mean, it's the better exit you get, and then you can carry it on up until bus stop, and then that can help you keep the speed through the bus stop as well. And then the next turn, for me the most important one, is the bus stop, because once you get that exit, Jimmy goes a little bit wide. That opens the door for Musi as well. He's dropping places here, and Timo as well on the outside, but no, Jimmy breaks a little bit more, and then that opens the door to Timo as well from the outside. Well done there. I think Jimmy is struggling a little bit through the turns there. Perfect. Touches the apex so slightly, and then you can see Presley has already pulled a huge gap. I believe it's already a 3 or 4 second gap. And Jimmy is not giving up. Jimmy gets the better exit here. He looks to the inside, but there is no space for you to go inside. Timo keeps the line. I mean, he could have tried to stay on his back for a little bit, bump draft a bit, and then get the air. Try to overtake on the straight, but then they are not completely side by side. So Jimmy has to concede the place, goes into the grass a little bit. Timo gets a really good run through the bus stop, but then keeps it as well. Gets an exit. You can see here, Woodtick, and there's 3 wide. These guys are crazy. Nerix with a half-second penalty. Nerix, Scott, and Sway 3 wide. What a sight this is. This is amazing stuff. This is amazing racing. Really good racing, and Scott gets the place. He moves in front because Darius has to serve that penalty, but still they are almost side by side until they went past the checkered line, finish line. But Sway goes into the lead. Sorry, not to the lead. He gets P6, but then Scott is not a slouch. Here we go. You keep the door open. You don't leave the door open for Scott. He won't get inside, and then now they are almost side by side. Not side by side, but yeah, they were side by side for a little bit there. This is really great racing. But Nerix is back. He served his half-second penalty, and now he's back. Not for revenge, but oh, that gets a little bit tricky. Exit out of there, and these guys are going too wide again. But Sway, I think, struggled at the exit and gets a penalty, half-second penalty. I think he went too much into the curb or too much outside of the curb or something like that. But boundary system is pretty bad on this game. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. But yeah, back at the back is fighting a lot. I mean, these things we don't see when we are doing the racing. But Nurix and Scott side by side, almost side by side, but then Nurix tapped back into his slipstream, maybe give it a little bit of bump draft and gets the try for the trailer. But I don't think Porsche has that top speed to go against the BMW. Yeah, the Porsche does not have that top speed, but BMW seems to be really fast in that straight line. And I think that inside line also gets another half a second penalty areas. Not quite sure why is that, and we have a little bit of fighting going on back at the back. That will be Sway, Idis, and Jimmy. Jimmy dropped all the way back to P11. He was not having his time here. And the gap is also pretty massive between Idis and Jimmy. But Sway and Carlos, these guys are fighting. These guys will be the teammates for the next season, that is season 3. But Idis get a better exit out of turn 6. And he has the better line as well compared to Sway. But now let's see the top speed. How fast is that AMG in a straight line compared to Porsche? But he gets a little bit of slipstream, and then he looks to the inside. But it is, I don't know. He kept the yeah, he did not want to. Ooh, there was a little bit of a contact, but I did not know actually. I almost forgot that they are heading into the bus stop. That's why it is taking the wider line so he can get the better run through the bus stop. But then of course you can definitely defend the bus stop as well, and then you can still find a decent line, but the speed won't be, I believe, not as much. Keeps the door open. Sway goes through to the P10 and gets the overtake done beautifully, but well, you know, with the slipstream and this and the speed of the AMG, so yeah, that is no wonder. I'm not quite sure actually how fast the AMG in a straight line, but Sway seems to be having, doing fine with the car. But then anyway, yeah, it is left the door open, so there is no chance. He should have kept into a little bit of a tighter line to the inside, so that's why he won't get the position. But he left the door open, so he dived in and got the position done. We have some great battling going on in the back of the pack, which is really interesting. Oh no! That will be Jimmy not having a good time. Not having a good time that exit, turn 6 exit. It can be tricky. I mean, even for me, it can be tricky. I was opting, I was getting into second gear. I hit the apex with first gear, and then I switched to second gear for the exit because I don't want to get any oversteer. But then later stage, oh, that bus stop. That is not how we go through the bus stop. Oh man, that was really bad. But then we do have two other drivers, Oscar and Katz. Oscar and Andre as well. Behind Jimmy. Oscar in his usual Ferrari. And Woodsy goes, Woody's running softs, but 5 laps is not good for softs. I mean, that is a too early pit stop. Very early pit stop. You should be able to at least go for 8 laps, 9 laps at least, because I remember during the sprints we have done 10 laps on softs. Yes, still they were able to hold on, but I don't know about the car and how the car is when it comes to the tires. And, some cars have worse tire wear, some cars have good tire wear. Presley is quite comfortably in the lead. I think at this moment there is a lead of at least of 3 or 4 seconds, or even could be 4 or 5 seconds could be. And he's running a perfect race as of right now. The times are actually pretty much similar between me and him, but he used to get some a little bit of a faster times as well. You can see the 48.226 is one of the. I mean, I was maybe one time with low fuel was able to get into 47.9, but that was low fuel. In the mediums, well, the things you do in practice or things you do in your qualies or practice, it's often not possible during the race, because you have traffic and you have dirty air and everything. So these are not everything is possible what you do in the practice when it comes to the race. So there's quite a bit of a gap between myself and Keepsy. Like I was saying, we were having similar pace and similar lap times, and Keepsy seems to be. I'm not gonna say like struggling, but the gap is pretty huge, to be honest. Yeah, gap is pretty huge between Keepsy and myself. I think more than 10 seconds of gap. So Presley is still in P1, and Jimmy has dropped quite significantly, I believe, so in P11, P10 or P11, and myself. So with Jimmy dropping, so I was able to get to P2, and then P3 is Keepsy, P4 is Timo. I think up until like P8 or something, the field is pretty much not packed, but I won't say like it is packed, but yeah, they are pretty close to each other, as you can see here. P3 and Timo is P4. And Scott is not far behind P5. I think maybe Timo ran a little bit wide there, I believe. He already lost 4/10 on the first sector. So Scott is closing on, gets the better exit. Oh, there was a little bit of a slide there from Timo. I believe that was a little bit of an oversteer at the exit. Let's see if Scott is able to get a good exit, or is it Timo going to get a good exit? I believe that Timo already won 2 sprint races as well, so yeah, I think he won 2 sprint races, but the quali, I believe that did not go as he liked. Yeah, the quali did not go his way, but still not a bad position, because he's already. I mean, he's not that far from Keepsy, and. Oh, Scott gets the slipstream, goes to the outside, but the inside line is where you should be through this corner. If you want to get any overtake done inside, outside, unless otherwise the front car. Oh, there's a little bit. Things are getting a little bit spicy here with Nereid, Scott, and for a moment I thought they were gonna go side by side, but then that's the camera angle. Yep. Yeah, the turn one is a pretty. I mean, one of the worst ones for me until I learned how to trail brake a little bit, and yeah. So Scott is also not really having a really good time, I believe. So at the exit, the car is a little bit twitchy. Plus, you know, given this is not one of his favorite tracks. Yeah, but he's doing all right. I mean, considering everything, he's doing all right as well. And Nereus as well, much closer than ever. Let's see this bus stop, how it's gonna be for Scott. And I think that they are actually maybe catching up Keepsy, but these are not teammates. But you know, if you really want to catch up to the front car, bump drafting is not prohibited in the league, so you can definitely do a little bit of bump draft and catch up to the front car. Nereus is almost at the back of Scott. It's really close, really close. All over the back, goes to the inside. Oh, that was a little bit tight. Let's just see that a little bit of replay. That was a really late braking move, but let's say if Scott keeps of the perfect angle, yeah, there was a little bit, yeah, the door was open. Door was definitely open there, but then yeah, Scott was looking to aim to the apex, but the both cars were side by side, so that was not a bad move. I mean, as for the things that I've seen through the Reddit as well, on Racing Stewards, yeah, I mean, as long as you're side by side or almost side by side, you are entitled to the corner as much as the other car as well. So, yep. Hold on a minute. What happened there? Wait. Oh, I was under the impression that he got the move done, but from the outside, Scott gets the better exit. Oh, I should have known that. I'm sorry. I'm fast forwarding. Yeah, I should have known actually. Yeah, even though he went inside, but the better exit is always to the outside lane. So Scott got that better exit, and now from the bus stop chicane. Nereus is closing in a little bit, trying to get that side draft as well, but tucked into the slipstream a little bit, but unless otherwise the inside driver screw up, I don't believe that you can get any moves done here from the outside. But Scott goes wide a little bit. Is it? Did he go wide a little bit? But it looks like that, but then the camera angles, of course. Timo now has pulled a little bit gap from Scott, and Musi is in P7. Probably he had maybe made an error. I guess so, because Scott overshoots the braking point, overshoots the corner. That opened up the gate for Nereid. Thank you very much. Chase lyrics, of course, and gets the move done. Yeah, these things can happen, of course. I mean, I believe it happened to me as well at one point when I was overtaking a blue flag car. Yeah, when I was lapping a car, but then I still screw up my braking point and I went straight on the exact turn. Yeah, I mean, it's not pretty when that happens. Yeah, and yeah, looks like Nereus is now a little bit of had a breathing space, and yeah, Mose is in P7. Between the BMW and Lexus, I'm not quite sure which car is the better car, but between the Porsche and BMW, well, the Porsche, I believe so. It's an old render, and it has a little bit more pace around the little bit more pace through the turns, but it lacks the overall speed, I believe, the total speed. Let me check the stream real quickly to see if everything's going in, working accordingly as for the plan. Now there's a little bit of delay, of course. Nothing I can do about that. Yes, the stream is okay. The stream is going good so far. So let me take 10-15 seconds break. I'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reversing a little bit. I wanted to see something has happened here. I'm really sorry. Something has happened. I mean, these two guys are now closer than ever. I mean, screw my yeah, screw my my 15-second break. But I just wanna I wanna see this. Timo is now in the slipstream of Gypsy. Looks to the inside, but it's yeah, it's a little bit of a risky move to do from the inside, but yeah, he's still in the slipstream of Gypsy, and followed by Nereus, but Nereus and Timo have a little bit of a gap between them. Gets into the grass a little bit, that unsettles the guard at the exit because the dirty tires. But this is really close right now. really close between these two. Almost bumper to bumper. I think on the next straight they gets the move done. Almost side by side on the inside a little bit, but there's plenty of space. He gets the better exit and gets the move done. P3 goes to Timo, but then you have to remember the next one is a long straight to the bus stop, and whoever has more speed, and of course with the help of the slipstream, but Timo does not leave any space right there because so Gypsy looks to the inside a little bit, but there is no chance because Timo placed the car perfectly. I mean, not too much to the inside, not too much to the outside, but he placed the car perfectly. I believe that he gets a bump draft as well, but it is not the end of the end of this fight, because again this is a slipstream. Oh, gets into the other car, meaning gets close a little bit, and that's I mean, even if it was a finish, that was a photo finish. Yep, gets the better exit, plays the car really nicely there. Timo gets a really good exit out of turn 1. And then now heading to the international horseshoe. Everything looks really good. And what happened? What happened at the front? I have no idea what happened. Let me check. There is a huge gap. Pardon me. We are trying to see what happens. Let me check. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, gets a little bit on the brakes. Gets a little bit too much on the brakes with the trail braking. That opens the door for myself. And yeah, this is what we were talking about. Being yeah, Presley is a fast driver, still a fast driver, but there are still inconsistencies because he's still building that muscle memory. I mean, getting accustomed to his wheel, and he's spending a lot of time on his wheel because he was a previously he was a controller user, so he's still getting used to that. So let me take that 10 seconds break, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah, Presley struggling a little bit, struggled for a little bit, and he was not struggling a little bit because, as you can see, his times are pretty consistent. Not really, I mean, compared to his class, this is not the consistency that he's looking for, but yeah, he's a really fast driver. Even though, I mean, he was catching up to me really fast, and so yep, currently in P1, pretty happy with that. And because with pure pace there was no way that I was able to catch Presley with pure pace. So if the drive in the front, I mean, if he makes a mistake, I can get the advantage. But let me just check something really quickly. No worries. Yeah, so I've been having also I was having a paddle issue, and I was having a paddle issue, and this morning, so I was thinking that did I have a paddle issue in the Daytona race because my accelerator was not reaching 100%. Probably have to do a little bit of a cleaning. It can be a lot of dust can go into the paddles, so to clean that out. So as of right now, pretty happy with the P1, and having a really good consistent pace here. You can see all 48s. I mean 48s, but yeah, that is what I call consistent. I mean, I was I'm able to be in the 48s, yeah. So that is my consistency. So yeah, there's a huge gap between P1 and P2 as well. To Timo, not a huge gap, but I think I mean it's 5-6 seconds gap, but I have no clue what happened to Keepsy. Musi goes a little bit wide there. goes out outside the track a little bit. Is it gonna get a penalty? But that was a really wide exit, and maybe there's a chance that he touched the wall as well. But yeah, no penalties because he stayed within the track limits. Look to the inside. Yes, because the Lexus have much more straight line speed compared to the Porsche, but that does not give him the advantage. Nereus was patient, and Nereus was looking for that, and gets the move done. Was he went onto the grass. Luckily, he did not get any penalty, but he went onto the grass. And, yeah, that gave Nereus the open. So positions have swapped from between P1 and P2 and P3 and P4, and looks like Gipsy had made a pit stop. Looks like it. Oh, somebody goes off the track. I can see that from all the way from that distance. I'm not quite sure who that is, but somebody definitely did go sideways. At turn one. I mean, that's a tricky turn one, of course, because you need to do a little bit of not a little bit, you need to do a lot of trail braking. That's like the final boss of trail braking. That T1. This is the usual line that I was also taking. But Nereus, you can see his times are not that consistent, but I mean it's not consistent. To be honest, it's all over the place. But you have to remember that he is going for longer stints here. He was going for 3 stints, 3 stints instead of 4 stints. So he is saving up fuel, and trying to go longer. And I think he does a really damn good job of managing those stints. I mean, he's P4, he's in P4, and his stints was he was targeting 23 lap stints, 22 or 23 lap stints. I think initially he does a 22, but I mean, given his times and everything, that was a little bit wide, I believe so. So that actually give the space to close up the gap from Missy. The field is the grid is pretty much spread out across the track right now. And yeah, I haven't mentioned the track actually, if I recall correctly. Yeah, this is the round 10 of EnduroXperience League Season 2. We have 11 rounds, and this is the 10th one. And everybody already know, whoever watching any of the racing games, I mean, watching any real racing or playing any racing games, everybody knows the track. This is the infamous Daytona Road Course, the famous track for 24-hour Daytona, the initial race, the season opener for IMSA series, starting with the 24-hour Rolex Daytona. Yeah, that was unless he gets a 1 second penalty, that's a huge cut. Yeah, that's a huge cut. Through the bus stop, I believe. So yeah, as we are speaking, as you can see, the track is pretty famous, and of course it's not that of a technical track, but apart from few corners, yeah, the rest are really high speed sections. So Musse goes into the pits. I believe Gipsy as well went into the pits. That's why he's currently in P8. And Musse goes into the pits at lap number 18. I have not seen Gipsy going into the pits because I was miles away, I believe, at that time. But yeah, not my favorites, but I really like to. But I really like to race on this track, and especially given the vibes of the menu book. If you played the menu books of Gran Turismo 7, there's one with the World Touring 800 series, and of course, there's a chili pepper race as well around this track, which is a BOP enabled race, and it was I mean it's a pretty amazing race, a 10 lap race. Even I believe yeah, the World Touring 800 as well, something like that, the name as well. Is a 10 lap race. Both are 10 lap race. Russell goes into the pits at lap number 18. So my strategy was to go into the pits at lap number 19. So that's the plan for me. 19 into 3, and then of course gets the final stint with soft tires. Me and Timo did the same strat, but yeah, later on Timo mentioned that we could have shortened the last stint a little bit, like 18 or 17 laps, and then jumped into the soft, because I believe he was closing the gap to a front car, but we shall see actually what happens. We don't have anything happening, much happening in this race. I believe there are a couple of guys running closely. So P2, P3, P1, myself is already heading into the bus stop chicane. As you can see in the top right corner, you can see a mini-map, so that's where the yeah, there you can see already through the bus stop chicane. I think that is possibly me. And then we have it is moved up to P4. So how many people already pitted? I think there are 2 people pitted. Keepsy and Presley. Maybe it was running a little bit closer with everybody, and myself now comes into the pits, and followed by my team, followed by the teammate Timo as well. And of course the strategy, yeah, Timo is the one who usually, when it comes to our team, Timo is the one who comes with the setting, the car setup, and myself is the one who comes into, yeah, bringing up the strategy for the race. But then of course you feel free to take any of the strategies. That is not a problem. I mean, if you think that there is a better strategy for you rather than the one that I'm bringing to the team, yeah, of course, that is also possible. I mean, if you want to, you can change the strat on the go as well. So I rejoined at P3, and comes ahead of Presley, but it's not a huge gap for Presley. And Timo goes into the pits and come ahead of, I think, Scott or Sway. So let's go down in the order. Keepsy, I think he pitted. That's why they were out. I don't believe that he had made any mistakes, because given that his precision and his consistency throughout Mount Panorama, I don't think that he had made any mistakes. I have seen him only one race, but yeah, it's pretty fast, and of course seems to be a really precise drive. We have P6 Sway. I believe all of these are yet to pit, so I think yeah, Scott as well yet to pit. That is why, as you can see, Timo is catching up to Scott real fast, and maybe Scott can be on a fuel saving because he usually does that, and he goes for longer stints. Musi went into the pits at lap number 18, and he's at the back of Timo, but then he's having a huge gap, of course, between Musi and Timo. So this is the closest as of right now, but we have 3 guys running, and I was I don't know who are those 3 guys. Yeah, there's more guys actually. I'm currently watching B8, so there are 6 guys. But Scott goes into the inside line. Does he? Yep. He keeps into the inside line. I mean, it looks like he goes a little bit wide, but then I think he's on the optimal line there. I'm not quite sure actually what's the line, but I think so that he's on the optimal line. And Timo is waiting for his opportunity, and tires probably will be pretty old on Scott's BMW. So I think Timo can get a better exit out of this one. Oh, there's a little bit of too much grass on the tire, and that makes your tire dirty, and that makes you have oversteer, and therefore bad exit, as you can see. That's a result of that moment right there, and that wiggle. Timo had a little bit of oversteer moment. That pulled a huge gap, and he's already 700 of a second down from the best lap, I believe so. Best lap or his personal best, I think. I'm not quite sure what other times are, but 7:22. Yeah, so that's a pretty consistent bus stop run from Timo. But Pelosian and Sway goes into the pits at lap number 21. That's a very good fuel saving. Timo's closing in a real fast, goes to the outside, but I don't think outside is going to work. But Scott goes a little bit wide there. Oh, that's I think that is, you can go a little bit wide, and you can gets a penalty. Yeah, that's a little bit too wide right there. Yeah, that's a little bit too wide, and the sun is coming up. You can see it's already getting daylight. And we started the race of the night, and we're gonna finish the race of the night. The times are set to have a 24-hour race, which is really exciting. I mean, the track is really amazing for endurance racing. If you have seen the Formula 1 movie, the opening scene, of course, takes place in Daytona. So I know it's already spoilers, but I'm not gonna say more than that. But if you have watched, that is in the Norris comes into the pit with 0 fuel. 0% of fuel, and that is an amazing stint. 22 laps, and of course, let's see how he's come out from the pits. He was behind. Was he behind? Yeah, he was behind Timo as well, I believe so, but I'm not exactly sure. But he just now started refueling, and Timo is crossing the finish line. Right now to the outside a little bit, gets the move done perfectly, and then it goes into the turn 1 and come out ahead of Neriux as well. So Neriux comes right behind Scott. Timo keeps it neat and tidy, and of course, I think Scott yet to pit, so all the tires. But that was a hell of a fight from Scott to keep that place with all the tires. Yeah, Timo could have done it a little bit earlier, but then things happen. You never know in the race. I mean, we can calculate and we can say all the things that we want, but during the race, you never know. I'm not quite sure what happened. How come Keepsy gets to the front, in front of Timo? Maybe Timo lost a lot of. Did he lost a lot of time compared to Keepsy? Because as of right now, as you can see, Keepsy and Presley. No, that is not Presley. Yeah, Keepsy and Presley. But if you can see the gap between Keepsy and Timo, I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think. Did Timo get the overtake? That I'm not quite sure. Actually, I'm in a pickle. I cannot keep a track. I need a partner to do this commentary. Really badly need a partner to do the commentary. Yeah. So yeah, there's a huge gap between Keepsy and Timo, which should not have happened. So I'm trying to wrap up my mind around and understand what happened there. Because as I remember, Timo made the move, and he moved. Yeah, he moved ahead from Keepsy. But then, how come Keepsy gets a huge gap like that? Timo. That's a mystery. That's a mystery to me. No, but anyway, Keeps is like a good 10-12 seconds ahead as of right now, and Nereus is also I think closing a little bit. Who is behind the spot? I think that is Nereus. Yeah, Nereus and Massey. So these guys are running really close to each other, and let's go down the pack a little bit. We don't have any close fights as of right now. But we do have somebody entering turn 1, but then the gaps are pretty significant. But let me see. Let's go all the way down. We can see like 2 guys exiting turn 6 on the minimap, and they're close to each other. Maybe this could be that could be a fight. So the pack is pretty huge. The gaps are pretty huge. Yeah, that's a little bit of a wider line there through the bus stop, and there's a lot of speed lost from the exit, because the major let me say for me the biggest the most important turns are turn 1. Yes, you need to get that trail braking perfectly, because if you get that trail braking perfectly, and then you will be able to get a better exit up to the international horseshoe. But then from international horseshoe you can then you can go from there, gets the better exit. So international horseshoe is one of the critical turns for me personally, because from there up to which turn is that? The turn 5? Yeah, turn 5, I believe it is called another horseshoe. I think it's the best horseshoe. Yeah, from turn 3 to turn 5 you can get a really high speed I mean, it's a really high speed run, and then of course you can make a move on a car. You can get an overtake done from there as well. So it's very important that the exit that you get from the international horseshoe, and then the next one is the turn six. Turn six is for me is the third critical turn. On the track, because from there onwards, turn 6, you have a huge run to the bus stop, and then from the bus stop, that is the fourth critical corner for me. That bus stop, if you get that line and you can get a great exit, that will take you to all the way to the finishing line. And if you are really close and following another car, you can actually get a really good run, and then you can tuck into the slipstream, and you can even try to take an overtake down. So yeah, that's now those 4 corners are really critical for me, because from the turn 1 to turn 3, the international horseshoe, it's not a huge run up, but then you need to have that perfectly. You need to have that corner perfectly with trail braking, because because if you mess up the trail braking, you're gonna slide, just like you saw that Presley, and maybe I saw another driver. I don't know whose car is that, but yeah, you're gonna have a really bad time. There we go. We have myself at P1, and then there are lap cars ahead, 2 lap cars I believe that is ahead, including Jimmy. Presley is catching up. Actually, he is catching up towards me, and then there's a couple of drivers at the back. Let me just go check really quickly what is going on here. Kipsey is having a really good run here, because the gap, the bunch of the cars that we saw here are the lap cars, as you can see. But Timo, Musi and Scott are not lap cars. Nerix is right behind them as well, but Scott, did he pit? I mean, I don't see that him pitting. He pitted, but I think maybe he pitted earlier, because I don't see, if you look at his times, I don't see anywhere that he pitted. Ooh, comes really close, gets ghosted. Oh, that was that's gonna be a proper that's gonna be a proper bump if not for ghosting. Must would have sent Scott to Narnia right there. That was a quite a hit. Now this is going to be the teammates. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. This is going to be the teammates for the next season. And we have Mercy gets the overtake done. Thanks to the the fastest top speed of the Lexus. Excuse me, I'm not quite sure how's the acceleration, but I think the acceleration is, every car has better acceleration than Porsche. I mean, so we had to, I myself asked the team that for a rolling start, because rolling starts, in Gran Turismo, rolling starts are not really great, because the cars are not almost side by. Cars are not like bumper to bumper. It's. Oh, that is Oscar. If I'm correct, if I'm not wrong. Excuse me. Yeah, that is Oscar. If I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, for the second time. God damn it. Yeah, that's a little bit of oversteer. I think he's not really having a really great time with the Ferrari. I'm not actually not comfortable with many cars in this game, to be honest. With you guys. Yeah, of course, I prefer Porsche. I mean, it's not the best car on the rear, but it's a really good overall car, and it's a really nice looking car as well. And through the corners, it's a really good car. So let's go down on the grid. This is Carlos. He's doing his own race, but not for. I don't think it's for a long time because we have 80s following up. I mean, I don't know whether they are closing the gap or not, because that's what sucks with the race replay. We don't have the gaps between the cars unless otherwise that we stream it live. But it looks like from the minimap that is the only way we can see. But from the minimap, it does not look like it is getting closer to Carlos, because Carlos seems to be pulling away really nicely there. So I speed 10, and quite a big gap to 80s. Look at that banking. I mean, this is a beautiful track. This is a beautiful track, and I'm not quite sure where the Indy Hub 500 takes place. Is it the Daytona, or? But I know that there's an Indy oval race, IndyCar's oval race takes place in Daytona. X-Con in its default Porsche. Yeah, this is the default livery that the Porsche comes with. We have a new Porsche GT3 car as well. New GT3R has been revealed, and yeah, that's another car that we are not gonna get. Not gonna get into getting GT7. Yeah, because I don't think that they are. Porsche is paying GT7 to have those cars. Andre in his pink McLaren. The McLaren is a wonderful car to drive. It's really stable, and I'm not quite sure about the performance when it comes to the other things. But yep, it's a really nice car. Really stable, and does not oversteer on the exits that much. I mean, if you keep it clean, yeah. And with its yeah, it's pretty crazy. With the anime livery. Yeah, so it's a beautiful car. So we have P13 is Jimmy, and then followed by hold on, let me check the gap between. Well, that's a huge gap between Jimmy and Oscar. I'm not quite sure is Ferrari like how good of a car to drive, but goes into the grass, not getting the better exit there. Let me check the gap between myself and Presley. I'm not quite sure what's the gap, but I think it's like a 10-second gap between myself and Presley. And Presley had a. Looks like Presley had made a mistake on lap number 29. Like, if you see, his time is 1 minute and 56 seconds. I think he was closer to me before, but I think now he made a mistake. lap number 56, and yeah, that we got the gap a little bit. Good morning to you, Timo. Good morning. Seems like you just woke up. I've been up for a few hours now. I'm not quite sure, Timo. If you're looking, if you're watching the race, if you're watching, I mean, keyboard. I saw that you are taking over Kipsy, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. How come Kipsy came in front of you, and then with a huge gap as well? Because I'm not quite sure what happened there. Because I'm really sure that you have overtaken Kipsy, and you were running P2, and when you were coming to the when you came to the pits, you were running P2, I believe so, and then Neri's running P3 or something like that during the first pit stop, but I'm not quite sure what happened there, and I'm trying to figure out. But anyway, on the track we don't see anything. We don't see much happening. But I think the car in front is Presley, and he's lapping Andre. And they do have a couple of cars running in front. Exactly 3 cars in front of Presley. That is including my car. But yeah, the other 2 cars are lap cars. Or somebody spun at the turn 1 on the map. I'm not quite sure who that is. The gap between Timo and Kipsy is a very significant gap, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I mean, I'm quite not sure what happened there. Oh, we have a close battle here. I mean, not a close one, but something that I can get excited about. 3 cars running really close. I think out of all the grid, these 3 are the ones that are running a really close race, and I'm not quite sure if maybe Scott has. Oh yeah, okay. Now I remember. Yes, Scott started on softs, and those softs did not go very well, and I think he pitted very early in the race. I remember he's saying something like that, so that's why he's still running. So I'm not quite sure like for how many laps he's gonna run. Nereus is saving fuel, and is that Missy going into the pits? Is he? Yep, there he is. Goes to pits on lap number 33. We are almost at the 1 hour mark. 59 minutes and 45 seconds to be exact. The gap between P4 and P1 is pretty significant, because you can see on the far end that is my car, and you can see followed by Presley's car. In between there's a lap car that is all the way on the bank corner of the main oval. Darius is not that far behind. I think like 3 seconds gap between Darius and Scott, but given the fact that Nereus pitted on lap number 22, and his tires are 10 laps older, and I'm pretty sure Scott's tires are older than that. But these 2 have been fighting for a bit, of course, in this race. But my favorite still remains the battle of these 2 in Tokyo race, which was amazing battle. And yeah, but at the start, like 3 wide, that was something really interesting, and yeah, that was amazing. That was proper entertainment right there. Proper racing and proper entertainment. 3 wide and almost 4 cars. 1 car ahead and 3 wide right at the back of that car. Give me a minute. be close enough. Oh no, Scott went to the pits. Oh no, that was one of the closest fights. I mean, I was expecting a fight there, but yeah, bummer. But I think it is an Keepsy are really close, but given the pace that I've seen, I don't think Keepsy will have a really hard time. No, I don't think he'll have a hard time overtaking Keepsy. Sorry, overtaking it. It is. So Keepsy pitted again, but he's on a completely different strategy, and I'm not really sure. Maybe he started on soft tires as well, and he pitted early, but then he's keeping into maybe 18, 19, 20 laps since. I believe so. I think Keepsy will get the overtake done before the end of this lap, given that he gets a real good exit through the bus stop. Yep, there you go. Gets a really good exit. I mean, he's a really consistent driver, Keepsy. We haven't seen many mistakes throughout the last replay as well, and yeah, consistency is what you need when it comes to the endurance races. I mean, it's not a sprint. You have to have consistent lap times, no errors whatsoever, and your lines need to be not perfect. I mean, I don't think that the lines need to be perfect in this level of competition. But of course, when you move into the higher level of competition, of course, you need to have your perfect lines as well. It gets a little bit of a sideways, a little bit of an oversteer moment for Keepsy, but no harm done. So already 96 thousandths up from his personal best. Heading into turn 6. Musi is not really close, but he is there in the picture, not far away. I believe he gets a really good exit, but he lose time, 200th of a second slower than his personal time, I believe. So Presley goes into the pits at lap number 35. I think he's running. He went one lap short of stints. Looks like. Not quite sure. Oh, that was a really close one. I thought that he was gonna get a penalty there, but nope. That was a really tight exit. Well, you can see he has pulled a huge gap to 80s, and Presley in the pits. Let's see, maybe Keepsy can will he come out of the pits? Nope. No, Presley keeps his place because Presley keeps his place because Keepsy is now heading into International Ocean. But Presley and Nerix, they are running close, and Nerix tires are already 13 laps older. And given that Presley is a fast driver, of course, but the times are pretty similar. I mean, yeah, he's faster. I mean, as you can see, this 147.591, and this is this time he has done with medium tires, so he's in 147.5 with a medium set of tires, and then yeah, I mean that's a next level fast. I mean that is pretty much A rank driving right there on that lap. That was a crazy lap. I think he done it a while ago as well. So these times, for me personally, these times I can get on soft tires, but then during the quali I couldn't even get into the 40 seconds. I think maybe I got into like late 40 seconds, but then yeah, I was struggling. Because yeah, the soft tires are not treating me really well. This can be a bit of a fight between Norris and Presley. Yeah, still, I believe it's like 1 second. Goes a little bit deep there. Presley probably missed his braking point, but not by much, but still. I'm still trying to figure out like the if you look at the tire marks on the tracks, you can see that like there is a line formed. I mean, that is how it is on the track usually, and yeah, but I tend to follow that a little bit, but if you follow that line goes all the way onto the curb at the exit. That is turn number 6 I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Presley takes a little bit of a tighter line than that. But then I think maybe that's the better line. Musi goes fastest, I believe. So it's yeah, that is with the softs. Yeah, I remember. Musi goes fastest with 1:47 seconds for 1:0. Excuse me. Musi comes to the pits with 0% fuel in the tank. I think he's gonna go now, and he's gonna park the car in the pits, and yeah, because he has a personal thing that he needs to do. So probably this is the time, I believe, so that he's going to park his car in the pits. As you can see, it's stationary there. His car is stationary in the pits. And Nereus, look at Nereus. I mean, he has all the tires, and followed by Presley, but that's some really great pace from Nereus, even though he's running longer stints. This man is crazy fast. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's followed by Presley, who's in fresher tires, but then still, Presley can catch up to Nereus. And if you see on the minimap, maybe no, they're not even close. Actually, in fact, Nereus is pulling away a little bit. If you look at the map, I mean, too bad we don't have the time gaps on the scoreboard. But that is a great race from Nereus with the long extended stints as well. Goes a little bit wide there, yeah, a little bit too wide on the international horseshoe, and that maybe yeah, I think that maybe gave Presley. It goes a little bit wide from that turn as well. Yeah, that's now 2 turns gone wide. I think the tires are not working on his favor, but as you can see on the minimap, Presley has closed the gap a lot. That gave Presley a huge boost, and now he's almost in the slipstream range, I believe so. But then the exit, of course, again, Nereus gets a better one, better exit from the turn 6, and they are now heading to the bus stop. If Presley gets a better exit at the bus stop, Nereus keeping it tidy by the looks of it, but not that much, because that entry was not ideal, I believe so. That's why you can see Presley in the picture. He's closing in and keeps a little bit of a tighter line, and he gets into the slipstream. Now 100% he's in the slipstream, but not enough to go side by side to the turn 1. Whoever gets the better exit from here, no, not the turn 1, actually, the international horseshoe. That's where they need to get the better exit. Of course, you need to get better exit on all the turns, but this one right here is a long straight, and you can get a move done through here. Well, let's see. We have a lap car comes into the place. Nereus gets the overtake done, so that gives. Oh no, Oscar. Oscar goes into the grass because Oscar knows that these two are fighting for the position, and Oscar, such a gentleman, Oscar is. He goes to the grass. I mean, yeah, I'm getting lapped. I mean, he's the nicest guy that, I mean, whenever you have to lap him, I mean, he'll get you plenty of space. He will not disturb your race. But then actually, Nereus got a huge advantage there, because he got the overtake done through the turn 5, and yeah, that held the Presley a little bit. Oscar is not I mean, he don't have to go into the crash or anything. He just have to keep his line because he's racing as well. So I mean, yeah, all he had to do is keep his line, and then it is Presley's responsibility to overtake safely. But actually, yeah, Oscar went into the grass, and then opened the door for Presley. Otherwise, I think this gap would have been a little bit more bigger. But Presley's catching up. Presley's catching up fast. Nereus speeded lap number 23 and 22, and then let's see how when he's gonna go to the next pit stop. This exit right here, I think he missed the apex a little bit. That the apex, the inside curve, but I don't think that matters that much. But Presley, look at Presley, gets a really good exit right here. And he's already in the slipstream and bus stop entry and exit. This is the deciding factor now. Here we go. Presley takes the wider line. Nereus takes the defensive line. But who's gonna exit? Who's gonna have the better exit? Can get into the slipstream and can get the place done to turn 1. But the gap is still there, I think. Presley gets a wider entry to the bus stop, but still, he is catching. Of course, he's in the slipstream, but I don't think the gap is enough for him to pull an overtake, because Nereus in the defensive line goes into the inside side by side. Is that a little bit of a tricky one? Is it? I'm not exactly sure, but. Yeah, looks like everybody, I mean, no harm done there. There was a little bit of ghosting. Ghosting means, we know that ghosting means is contact, but yeah, there was no cars going through each other, but Yeah, but there was a lot of time lost there. As you can see, Nerex is down by 1 second, 1.3 seconds on the first sector alone. And yeah, Presley with the fresher tire, now he's pulling away. And Nereus's time is 150s, 149s. Which is not really bad. I mean, given that he's full saving as well. Full saving as in he's not on the in any of the full management maps, but what he does is that he short shifts the car. He's not gonna redline it. He's short shifting, and then that helps him save fuel. So yeah, something that we are not doing, but he's already down 2 seconds. So it's gonna be, I think, probably a 150 or a 151. But as you can see, Presley has pulled a huge, not a huge gap, but yeah, he is still pulling a gap to Nereus. 151, I guess 151, exactly 151. Yep, 2.4 seconds down from his personal best that I believe is his personal best that they are calculating the time. So Presley and myself are not really far between each other, and the grid is already planned out a lot. Let me see, that is Kipsy and yeah, that is Kipsy and Oscar. And I thought there are two cars, but let me check the cars behind. That is, it is P5, but those are lap cars as well, so it is lapped Xcon there, Xcon. So if there is any fight to watch, I think it is. But no, there's not much of a fight as of right now for us to see. Let us go slowly. Hold on. Give me a second. And I'm back. So as of right now, the positions are P1 myself. I think between myself and Presley, there's looks like about a 10 seconds gap. And yeah, Presley is in P2, and we are running different strategies because I'm sticking to 19 lap strategy, but he's going a little bit wide on that exit on P8. T5, sorry. Yeah, I was concentrating there. Yeah, turn 5. He was going a little bit deep, but goes faster overall. 0.297. Which tire that did he switch to? That I completely forgot to check which tire he's already going much faster. Okay, point hundredth of a second up. Let's see, this is gonna be a fastest lap. It goes through the bus stop. Looks like a really good entry and an exit from the bus stop. No, already a 6/10 down. That's a really yeah, that was a slow. No, I think it's not just the bus stop. I think it's just it's the turn 6 exit as well, because he was up in the first sector of the lap. He was 2/10 up, but then once he exited turn 6, he is down down another hundreds of seconds. So I think the time was dropping from there onwards. I think he lost the time on turn 5 because he was losing time from there onwards because of the wider entry to the turn 5. So he was losing time, and then yeah, it went once he reached a bus stop. I think he was already down 6/10 of a second, because that's why I mean those exits are really important, because you have to get a really good exit at turn 6 because it will take you all the way through to the bus stop chicane, and then you will improve your time if you get a great exit from turn 6. In front of him, that is myself, and with some lap cars, that will be Orange Falcon. Sorry, Carlos. Yeah, Carlos, aka Orange Falcon, and I'm 300ths of a second down from my personal best. Yeah, my personal best, I think, still at 41 minute 48 seconds, somewhere around that time. Oh yeah, Musi is still in pits, of course. Yeah, he's away. He just left his car in the pits, and he did not want to DNF. But then I'm not quite sure how's the points gonna count, because he's not in a BMW. He's in a Lexus. I don't know whether the points gonna count or what. Not sure. And Oscar, I think getting a blue flag and gonna get overtaken by 80s. And we have Jimmy still running. This is a surprise, I think. This is a surprise because we haven't seen Jimmy finishing any races throughout the league. This is the 10th round, and he participated in a couple of rounds, but he did not finish. He left within the first 30 minutes, but now he's sticking to the race, because we are already 1 hour 24 minutes into the race, and 44 laps, actually 45 I believe, so 45 or 46 laps. I mean, yeah, because Jimmy already got lapped, I think, once, twice, goes into the pit. So let's switch. Oh, that was a contact. That was a contact from Andre, and then Xcon waiting for a bit. That's really good good racing. Hold on, let me see that. It goes to the inside. Oh yeah, yep. That's on Andre, but you know, I really appreciate this move right there. I mean, he's waiting for Timo to go through to re-enter the track. I mean, that is something that most people does not understand. Like, yes, you have the ghosting in place, but when you are re-entering a track, you need to be really careful. You need to pay attention to which cars are coming into the track, because if I remember correctly, when Presley spun for the first time at turn 1, he also waited for the other driver, because he saw another driver coming in, and then he slowed down. He did not re-enter the track, despite of having ghost. I mean, that is something, of course, for myself to remember as well, because those are really great racing etiquette. I think Andre is gonna back down a bit, because it is on him. But I think yeah, through the voice chat, we heard there was some discussions going on in regards to this incident. But I think yeah, that's the gentleman rule in racing. Okay, if you cause a scene, yes, shit happens, and yeah, you can you can actually ruin someone's race. But then what happened has happened. But then the thing to do is the right thing to do is acknowledge your mistake, say sorry, and do the right thing. And I believe that that Andre did the right thing, but I think he's going a little bit slower. For X-Con to catch up, but I think at one point they are gonna swap, because from the voice chat, from what I've seen, you can see that he's gaining. So Andre lifted there. I mean, since the gap was too big, yeah. So yeah, that's what you do usually. I mean, that's gentleman racing. I mean, that's what you do. You cause a scene, say sorry, back up, and give the place back, because you've already made a mistake. But then there's nothing you can do on. I mean, apart from saying sorry and give the place back. Yeah. Just acknowledge the mistake. That is what you can do in that case. Cats half a second penalty at the exit of the bus stop there, and so we were looking, actually we were going down the grid, or I think we were coming up the grid a little bit, but that was nice timing to change the camera to capture that, and yeah, and to show I mean what our guys did afterwards. So this is what EnduroXperience, our league is all about. This is what it is. Yes, there is competition, but of course the clean racing is the most important thing. It's not the result that you race clean, because every day when you go into the daily races, what kind of shit that you have to deal with really bad drivers and everything. That's why the leagues are there. That's why people prefer to go into leagues and race in those leagues. Sadly for us, there are no drivers no driver ratings are affected. I mean, we cannot have like a scoring system or something like that in our leagues, but I mean, there's no safety ratings or anything like that. Yeah, so things like that, but I mean, I believe in Assetto Corsa competizioni, I think even in the private leagues, it goes a lot wider on that turn. I mean, probably missed his brake mark there, Carlos, but let's see. Yeah, that seems like a decent line, and yeah, that seems like the correct line. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's the correct line is. You can have multiple lines, but that looks like a really good line there. And he's if Sway is not in the AM division, if Sway is not in AM division, I think yeah, Carlos is leading the AM division, and I'm not quite sure about Edis, because Edis in P7, and he seems to be let me see where Scott goes fastest in the first sector, hundredths of a second. But let me see where Scott is. Oh, Edie seems to be like a Pro-Am driver, because he's keeping up with Scott. But then this is his first race, so we may have to check his GT7 sports ranking and then decide how the things are. But looks like for now it looks like that he is in the Pro-Am category. The gap between Scott and Narius, it looks like a healthy gap for Narius, but he's in P5. Then we have Timo on P4, and the gap between Timo and Keepsy seems to be really big, and Timo is overtaking Oscar. Oscar gives the place the gentleman he is. He goes to the left and yeah, leave space, leave the racing line. Let me see the gap to Keepsy. It's pretty significant. I mean, it's probably about probably more than 10 seconds of a gap there. This is a really nice track. As you can see on the far end, there are the other cars because the grid is fully spread it up. I mean it's we have some cars running closely, but not many cars are running closely, and it's we have a cluster here. Let me check. Let's go back and see if they are like the lap cars or because probably they could be lap cars. So, but it is Scott on P6, and I wish we have a free cam as well built into that one. This one. Excuse me. So where we can. Oh, it's a really close one between Scott and Iris. Oh, it's a really good one, and the lap car actually, Iris get the advantage of the lap car. Because as you can see, Scott, I mean, he got a little bit obstructed by X-Con there through the bus stop, because he cannot force his way through the lap car. Goes into the inside. This is a really aggressive move, but braked enough not to cause scene. That was that was a good move. I mean, yeah, goes to the little bit, goes to the inside. I mean, it seemed like a proper dive bomb that he slowed down there, so he knows that he's not gonna make a scene. But I think Eddie's is having the pace compared to Scott, and then he has the slipstream as well. But let's see, it's gonna turn out of a. As you can see, gets a tighter line and even a better exit as well. As you can see, they are not side by side that much, but not fully side by side, but they are side by side. Gets to the inside there, and now gets the move done to the inside, but it is not going to be over because Scott in his BMW is having a much higher top speed. But the inside lane is not available. You cannot go into the inside line because Edis is keeping the car inside the inside line, defensive line. But then Scott did he get the better exit? Did Scott get the better exit? I don't think so. I think Edis is pulling away, but he's still in the slipstream. Pretty much, as you can see that he is closing on Edis, but this can be something. This move can go down all the way to the turn 1 from here onwards. That's why it is so important for someone to get the better exit. Goes a little bit wide there, but keep it tidy through the turn. It's the apex, I believe so, but Edis. He's not making it easier for Scott. Either Scott is on some sort of fuel saving. Excuse me, but why I have no clue why Scott turned the car to a bit of left side on the international horseshoe exit. Maybe he thought that he was going through a little bit of a tighter line because he's not gonna exit and then hit the curb, but oh, that's a bad exit. this is a bad one through that turn 6, and this is gonna give, you can see, look at the right side, top right side minimap. The red car is Scott and the blue car ahead, the blue arrow ahead is Edis, and look at the gap that Edis is pulling from that. That is why the turn 6 is one of the most critical turns, because this can go, this is going until the bus stop, but then of course it will help you to go through the enter bus stop at a really fast pace, and then gets a better exit. Already 2 seconds down. I think it's gonna be a 151. I think a high 151 for Scott here. It is still pulling away. I think maybe Scott is on a little bit of old tire here as well. Yep, high 151s. It seems to be on a different strategy, of course. I think he's on a shorter strategy. I'm not quite sure, but he's getting the better out of all the exits compared to Scott. And who's behind Scott? Is that Sway behind Scott? Let me see the gap. No, yeah, that's a huge gap. Yeah, that's a huge gap from Sway to Scott. So I think if Sway is not in Pro-Am, Sway is leading the Am division, and then if Sway is in Pro-Am, then that is Carlos leading the division. And Kipsy comes to the pits. Let's go further up. Nereus is coming to the bus stop, and I think Nereus will be able to. Will he be able to get in front of Kipsy? Because Timo will get the get the position, but Timo still have a pit stop to make. We are at 1 hour and 38 minute mark as of right now. Look at the times that Nereus is doing. He's extending the laps as well, but then even though he's extending, he's doing 49s. That is pretty impressive. I mean, if he's doing 49s and he's doing sub 49.5s, I mean if he can, he's not consistent on those times, but he has done 48 as well. So 51s, 50, 49, 48, 49. I mean, if he from when we were preparing the strategy, I mean, if he was able to stay on 149.5 or below, that he's gonna get a huge advantage when he's going for that 3-stint strategy compared to us, because a pit stop is 56 seconds long, and yeah, so because he's gonna cover that 56 seconds if he consistently in 149s on his times, he's gonna get that he's gonna cover that pit stop time. I mean, that pit stop time in half, and then he's gonna save like 20-30 seconds. Kipsy, I believe so. This is his final stint as of right now. He's on lap number 55. Pitted on lap number 56. Presley comes out of the pits with the softer compound, and Timo and myself, we still have pit stops made. We are at lap number 55. That's the Yep. So yeah, sorry about the background noise, and yeah, that is what happens. You're sharing a room with multiple people, but hold on. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I had to keep the mic muted a little bit because the background noise. But Keepsy on a fresh set of soft tires, now catching up. Timo catching up really fast. Um, yeah, lap number 56. That's what the Timo was telling me about, because we are about to pit on lap number 57. But the disadvantage for him is a little bit too strong, because if he pitted on lap number 55, he could have done like at least 9 laps of soft tire. Excuse me, but yeah, the gap is coming down, of course, now. And now I actually understand what he was talking about when he was telling that he could have pitted a little bit earlier, because I mean, you should be gaining time when the driver behind you goes into the pits. You should be gaining some time on the track with cleaner air and everything. But yeah, this is not helping Timo at this moment, because Keepsy is flying with his soft tires. But Timo is no slouch either, because you can see that he is keeping up with his old medium tires. But this is the lap number 57. This is the one we're gonna pit. But then the gap is way too close, and he's gonna get the overtake done. If not through the lap, oh, he goes a little bit wide there, goes into the grass. That's not helping. Keeps he's keeping right behind him, tucked in. Gets trying to get the slipstream, but looks to the inside. There's yeah, it's gonna be a risky move, either a really bad dive bomb, because they are not side by side. So Timo will be always looking into go to hit the apex. And then right now, this is where Kipsy is going to make the move, because he's on a faster compound, and yeah, he's definitely going to get the slipstream as well. But then looks like Timo. Nope. Yep. There is no way. There is no way actually. Oh, looks pretty interesting, because Timo is having a slipstream as well, I think. Is it from Oscar? I think from Oscar. Timo's going a little bit wide there on the exit. No, that is too wide of a line, I think. So that gave Keepsy the exit that he was looking to get. But then Timo was pulling away. I mean, when Keepsy went outside the top of the banking, Timo actually pulled away. So yeah, things could have been a little bit different there. Yeah, when it comes to the strategy, I mean, yeah, we planned the strategy, based on the times. So the strategy was calculated for the average time of 1 minute 55 seconds. 1 minute 55 seconds. 55.5. Yeah. So that's the time that we have. That I have calculated the strategy for us. But then during the race, of course you'll have some people to cover. Of course, then you may have to change the strat on the go, but those things are not happening from our end, because then it changes the whole strategy, and then they need to be a lot of calculating done. That's why the race cars, of course, have their strategists and everyone, and we don't have those guys. So I mean, it's gonna be really difficult for us to calculate those on the go. But then at the end of the race, yeah, when we are looking back at it, then we know, like, oh, we could have done things a little bit differently. I mean, yeah, we could have pitted like 2 laps earlier. I mean, this strategy right now, for me, it is working. Oh, somebody went into the wall. I think that is Jimmy went into the wall at turn 1. That was a huge hit, I think. So he bounced back from that tire barrier. Yeah. And then Nereus is following, keeps it close. I mean, he's 1/10 up on the first sector. Keeps it on his soft compound. But then we know that Presley also switched to the softer compound, and the gap between Presley and Kipsy, it's not that huge. But let me check the gap between myself and Presley. It's also I mean, it's more than 10 seconds, I think. And then myself also at lap number 57, I came out on the soft compound as well. So now Presley is in a couple of laps older softer compound. So this strategy, actually, it is giving me a lot of advantage when you compare the tire life, because Kipsy has to go around 11 or 12 laps on the soft compound, and then Presley lap after Kipsy. So Presley have to go like maybe 9 or 10 laps, I think, on the softer compound. And then myself, it is actually 8 laps in this case. Oh, I was targeting 9 laps because I was hoping that it'll be a 66 lap race. But then now we have only 10 minutes remaining, and then my average times are 1:48, and then you can see I have run a couple of 1:49s as well. So there's a slightly bit of a I think a lap shorter. The race is going to be a lap shorter than I've expected. So if that's the case, then I have around 8 laps to do on the soft. So the tire advantage with me, of course, and but Presley's exiting the bus stop now. The gap is really close, and then Nereus. Hold on, let me just check something really quick. Is he having the indicator lights? Because that's the most important thing about it. Yeah, he is having hazard indicator lights. I don't know what is that about. I'm not quite sure. But Nereus is really closing up to Keeps, it seems like, because I think Nereus is now pushing a little bit harder. You can see consistent 49s his inconsistent 49s, and then there is a 150 lap. Apart from that, it is pretty consistent, and yeah, the gap is coming down, and then we have 80s and Timo, but Timo gets that place really easily because Timo in a fresher, softer compound, and then 80s he moved on to the higher part of the banking, and then went wide and gave the position. I mean, I don't know what is that about, and he's not even in the slipstream. He's just having a totally different line. He doesn't want. Doesn't look like that he want to fight for that position at all. Maybe he's on all the tires, so there was a little bit of an oversteer moment as well. And then the gap between Timo is here on the minimap. He's in the international horseshoe, and then if you look at it, Nereus is exiting turn 6. So there is a huge gap, and I don't think that keeps he's having having a good race right there, because Nereus is definitely catching up, and of course if Nereus is catching up, Timo is definitely catching up as well. But I think the West Horseshoe is where now Timo is exiting. Yeah, now he's exiting the turn 6. But if you see Nereus, now they are entering the bus stop chicane. So this one, it looks like it has given a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to Timo. I don't know why the blinkers are on. Is he on auto drive or anything like that? But I'm not quite sure why the blinkers are on. But I think he's going really slowly. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, I think he was away. Oh yeah, okay, all right, okay. I remember he asked the question. Yes, I remember. Actually, keeps he asked the question of what will happen if he have to go out for 5 minutes or so. Then I told him just park the car and go, and because I'm not quite sure if you have auto drive enabled. So maybe looks like the auto drive is enabled, but I'm not quite sure what has happened there. So actually that is why Nereus got the place. Okay, so that makes complete sense. And then Timo is now exiting International Horseshoe, and Keepsy and Nereus now exiting turn 6. But there is nothing actually now Keepsy can do, because Nereus already built quite a bit of gap, and then he was gone for so long. Because that's why I was wondering why his blinkers are on, and I now remember. Yes, yeah, he asked about it, about the what will happen. Can I just press the option? Will it be ghosted or anything? But it is not going to get ghosted, which is really clear. So that's why I think he turned on the blinkers. All right, so yeah, that is that. So Keepsy and Nereus, and Keeps is closing up on Nereus, but Timo's gap is a little bit, yeah, that's a huge gap to Nereus. I mean, Nereus and Keepsy between them. But Keepsy is back on his wheel, and there was a little bit of an oversteer moment. Went sideways a bit, and that opened up the gap a little bit more to Nereus. And I think Nereus been conservative throughout, and you can see he's doing 49s and 50s, low 50s, not low 50, mid 50s and mid 49s. So he's running a little bit of a consistent race. I think the lap for Keepsy, the laps are 155, 152s are the ones that where he went into the auto drive mode. So because all the other laps, I think for 2 laps he went into the auto drive, and all the other laps seems like his usual laps. On lap number 54 is the one he came to the pits, and that's the X out lap from the pits. And is he catching up? Started a little bit of wide, but I think no, I don't think that is wide. But then that's a tricky part of the bus stop. I mean, the bus stop exit. I don't know like what are the track limits at all right there. I mean, you can go into that the concrete bit after the yellow bit. You can step on that, but then you will not get a penalty. But maybe if you go a little bit outside, a little bit wide, then the next time maybe you'll have a penalty. So I'm not quite sure about the penalties. But Nereus and Kipsey are really close to each other, and followed by Orange Falcon, but Orange Falcon is lapped already, and he tried to fight and unlap himself from Kipsey, but he did not get it done. I think when it comes to GTR, it looks like it's not the strongest track for GTR here. And Presley goes fastest, of course, with 1 minute 47 seconds. 1 minute 47 seconds, 0.180. That's a bunkers lap from Presley, a really fast lap. I think people can do like 45s, the A plus. I think we are looking at 45s. When it comes to the lap timings of faster drivers. So Kipsey and Nereus are fighting it hard here. But Nereus is not gonna give up that place that easily, right? Yep, he's fighting in the back. I mean, he's keeping the car defensively and going through the defensive lines as well and everything. We are at the final 1 minute and 15 seconds of the race, and let's go all the way into for the last minute. It is lap number 64, Nereus, for Nereus, and Presley is already in the lap number 65. He's going through turn number 3 and heading into the West Horseshoe. And I myself already exited turn number 6, and we are already at 1 minute 1 hour 59 minutes and 25 seconds. This is going to be the last lap, lap number 65. And arriving the bus stop, I think I managed the bus stop really good, and I thought for a minute that is it going to be a penalty. But luckily I haven't got any single penalty throughout the race, which is really good because I've got plenty of penalties during the practice. So yet another win, and yeah, pretty decent gap for Presley. Across the checkered line, P1, another victory for myself. Pretty happy with that. And then that puts me in a really good position for this championship. And comes in P2 is Presley. Yeah, he made a mistake on turn 1, which opened the door for me. Crosses the line, P2. And Nereus held Kipsey throughout his final stint. Of course, Kipsey went away for a bit, it looks like, on a couple of laps, but these two are really close to each other. Kipsey in a softer compound, but Nereus, what a race from him across the checker line, P3, and Kipsey followed Nereus P4, and Timo started P5 coming into the checkered flag right now. P5 could have been a better race with a better strategy. Yeah, I hope that I could have given him a little bit of a better strategy. Could have maybe stopped a lap or 2 earlier. And now Scott and Sway, these two guys are really close to each other. Scott going to cross the line P6, and that is going to definitely seal the championship for me. And Sway crosses the line P7. So let's go into the position. So yeah, so we have seen up until Scott and Sway, and then Orange Falcon Carlos um, finish the race P8, and Andre, look at Andre, overall position is P9, the overall position, but this is not the division standings, because I think if Sway is on in M, this is a great finish for Andre. I mean, if Sway is in M category, in MM division, then Andre finished P3. If not, Andre finished, finished P2 for his division. That is a wonderful race from Andre. Uh, really, really awesome. I think the switch for from the Lamborghini to McLaren is working really nicely for him. Alex Khan, after a long time, overall secures overall position P10, and yeah, if you, I mean, of course there are divisions and the points will be awarded according to divisions, but then still getting into the overall P10 um, uh, is really, really, really good achievement. I mean, really good race from him as well. And we have Jimmy finishing his very first race in our league. Congratulations to Jimmy finishing in P11. It doesn't matter. Overall positions does not actually matter, because you will be awarded the points according to your division. You race the guys in your division, uh, not the overall grid. And then Oscar finishes P12, and we have a disconnection. I think we don't see it is. And oh, hold on a minute. We have Musi crossing the flag right now. Yep, Musi just now crossed the checkered flag, checkered line, and he finished the race on P13 because he was away, and I think he's down like 16 laps. But then yeah, personal life comes first, and yeah, and he's not in his usual car, of course. So I'm not quite sure. What's the points? I think he got points, but I don't think he's contributed it towards BMW. I mean, he got points, but it's not towards BMW, and yeah, I'm not quite sure as that's going to be. But then let's check the results, shall we? Because we have the season two results already. Sorry, season two race number 10 results here. Let me check. Yeah, this is Daytona GP. All right. So we don't need the start positions or anything. We just need the finish uh, positions. Okay. Yeah, for the divisions, yes, actually Sway is in AM division. Looks like because Sway was listed in AM division, and then that's P1 for Sway, and P2 for Carlos, and P3 for Andre. Really well done, Andre. I mean, we have seen you race a lot and back of the pack, but never DNF'd. Kept its chinned up, and really great sportsmanship. I mean, finishing is actually what matters. Of course, wherever you are, you finish the race. I mean, it doesn't matter. But then, great result for Andre. Congratulations on the podium. And we have XCon securing P4 for the AM division, and then P5 will be Jimmy. Congratulations to Jimmy as well for finishing the race. And then we have P5. Yeah, P5 was yeah, Jimmy was P5, and then D Oscar on P6, and it is DNF'd. Unfortunately, I think he was running a really good race until that time, until he got DNF'd. And we have the standing for the division, the championship standings for the division. So yeah, as at the end of round 10, we have Carlos with 43 points. He's in the lead for the championship of the division. And then we have Andre with 40 points at P2. And we have P3 Oscar with 36 points. And Sway with 28 points on P4. And then Dean, who is not active currently, he's only 20 points. And then XCon with 16 points at P6. So this can change actually at the end of the race. And then we have the other people who are there, except for Jimmy. Jimmy's first race finished, so he secured 6 points. Apart from that, we don't have any active members. And yeah, so the championship actually pretty much open for them. We don't have any. Just give me a minute here. All right, I'm back. So let's go into the pro am results because um, let's see. So myself finished on P1, and we have Presley finishing in P2, and then P3. P3 we have Nereus. That's a great finish. He started on P8 and then he reached up to P3. That is a pretty significant performance from him, given that he have done a stint less compared to everybody else, and Yeah, that's pretty good, and keeps it with its consistent performance. He finished P4, and Timo finished P5. Of course, yeah, I do agree that we could have done a little bit better on when it comes to Timo's strategy. Could have pitted a little bit early, and we could have fight all the way up to get Kipsy with a better strategy, but yeah, so it did not work for him. The last stint, actually, specifically, it did not work for Timo's favor. But then Scott finished P6, and we have Musi finishing P7. So there are points awarded for him. But I'm not sure if that is contributing to BMW or anything like that. But yeah, the points are be given for him, even though he has taken part in the Lexus. Okay, if you look at the championship standings as of right now for the Division Pro Am myself, yep, sorry about that. So, yeah, all right, sorry about that. Taken a little bit longer than expected. A little bit of disturbances. Usually, I start these streams when all of my yeah roommates are asleep or something like that. So I think from next week, I think I have to stream a little bit earlier because yeah, people are making a lot of noises. We cannot say anything because it's their off day, and then yeah, they have their freedom. So anyway, we were looking at the championship for the pro am division. So myself, I'm really happy actually. The performance that I've put through yeah, for this season. Yeah, it was a lot of hard work, of course. Coming home from duty and doing the practice runs and getting the strategy. Of course, my teammate Timo, yeah, huge thanks to him as well because he's the one who's been testing the car and trying to get the perfect setup for it. So 99%, I think 99% of the time I've ran his setups and including this race. So yeah, huge thanks to him as well. So yeah, it is myself with 89 points now. Yeah, that is 15. That is a 15 points ahead of Scott. So yeah, so Scott is on P2 with 74 points, and then Timo with 73 points at P3, and then Musi. Yeah, so Musi being awarded 4 points, and then he's sitting at 50 points P4. P4, yeah. Granty did not participate in two races, I think. Now, is it two races? I think one race, yeah. So he did not. He was not there for this race, so that leave him with 46 points. And Nereus, he's a late joiner. I mean, if not, the championship fight will be much more spicy compared to right now. So Nereus with 34 points, and then Presley switching into Pro Am division, he's in P7 with 25 points. Keepsy is a late joiner. He have joined the last race, but he have already gathered 17 points. Pretty impressive. I mean, of course, pretty impressive when it comes to Nereus as well, because Nereus is consistently in the podium for all the races, as I remember. Yeah, he's a really good competitor. As well as a teammate, of course, he's a really good competitor. And then we have yeah, Keepsy, and then Importer. I'm not sure. Porter 69. I'm not quite sure. He was there for a couple of races. Um, so he's P10. And then Pants P6, and then we have Saif. Did not finish any race. He joined a couple of them. I think he did not finish any race. Maybe he finished sprint races. So then, yeah, the championship, yeah, it is already sealed, and yeah, I'm really glad that yeah, with 15 points, because we have only one race remaining, and the maximum you can get is 10 points. Even if I do not participate on that race, yeah, I'm already won the championship for this one. But then we don't have any pro drivers in this race, like I mentioned. So the pro division championship, it's already sealed. I think there could be changes in P2 and P3, but it is highly unlikely for them to show up in the last race. But I'm not quite sure. But we'll see that. We'll see about that. But the things are getting spiced up for the championship for P2 and P3, of course, because between Timo and Scott. Yeah, Scott is currently at 74 points, and Timo has 73 points. They have only 1 point difference. I mean, given that Timo finished one place ahead, and the points will be tallied, and then yeah, for him, he should have. I mean, you have to finish one place above on the last race, but now he has to finish two places above Scott, but we don't know how familiar both of them when it comes to Le Mans, and it's gonna be a 3-hour race as well. It's gonna be a long race, so I think I was streaming for 3 hours right now, so it's gonna be I'm really sorry. It's gonna be a really long race for all of us, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. The finale, Le Mans, 3 hours. There will be a mandatory stop, of course, somewhere in the middle of the race. Maybe you can take it early. I don't know. Maybe you can take it whenever you want. I guess so, because we have not discussed any of that details as of yet. So season two, it will be coming to an end next week, and yeah, I'll be streaming that race as well, and I'm gonna stream it right after the race finishes, because it's a 3-hour race. I don't mind, because looks like I have to stream it early as possible, because I otherwise I will be getting distractions as of just like right now, because the race ended. I mean, otherwise I could have kept the mic muted and then let the race run, just like I've did before through the race. But anyway, for anybody watching this one after it goes live, yeah, thank you very much, and thank you very much for sticking with us. So the championships, P2 and P3 for Pro Am, and of course the championship for the Am division. It's gonna get spiced up in the next week. And of course, when it comes to manufacturers championship, which I forgot to mention, yeah, Porsche is in a quite comfortably with 241, and then BMW. Hold on, sorry about that. BMW with 178 points, and that is a good 60, good 63 points. So yeah, and then Ferrari had to pick three because Ricky was participating in the race, and Ricky was participating and bringing in a lot of points as well. And Oscar, of course, running the Ferrari, so that would be, yeah, he will be bringing in points for Ferrari as well. So I don't think any changes will happen because we have on P4 it is McLaren, and McLaren is currently sitting at 56 points, and then it's only one race we have to go, and we have only one McLaren on the grid. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think anything will change on the manufacturers end. It's a quite comfortable win for us. We had ups and downs. We some At some part we had five BMWs in the race at one point, and then we had the other way around as well. So it was yeah, it was up and down, of course, when it comes to the car lineup, number of cars that we had in the on the grid. So yeah. Anyway, so that's the race. That's the race number 10. So um, no much action, but there were some action. So some action, of course, some good racing and some really good racing etiquette, as well as clean racing when it comes to the yeah, gentleman racing as well. We have seen some, yeah, that is what matters, and yeah, all the details will be available in the description if you want to join the Enduro Experience Racing League. The season 3 will be it's already the plans have laid out, and then the format will be discussed later on. I mean, maybe start of the season 3 inaugural race, we'll talk about that, or maybe at the end of at the start of the race, race 11, the finale. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for from me for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one on next week, hopefully on a Friday early morning. And yeah, till then, everyone, stay safe.